Hey guys, my name is Crazy Penguin, and this isn't Modern Warfare 3. In fact, it's Tribes Ascent. Brand new game just came out last week, and it is a lot of fun. Let me say, first off, this game is free. Free to play. 100% free. No reason not to check it out. They got promotional codes all over the place for unlocking weapons and, in-game currency and stuff like that. All you have to do is do a little bit of research, and if we're lucky, we'll have them in the description for you. And it is freaking amazing. It's so addicting, and it is a very interesting game. I never played the first. This is not a sequel or a number 2 or anything, but kind of a follow-up or a revamping of. It's basically the same game with more features. Looks better. Came out, I believe, back in 98 or 99. The original did, and it was PC only, just like this. And apparently it had a pretty huge cult following, or else we wouldn't see a second. I got nothing here. I really don't know anything about the first one, but I must say, coming into this, I'm really enjoying it. It has a pretty high learning curve, though, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. So, first off, you got to know what this game is all about. Well, okay, it's your first-person shooter, but as you can see, it's not your normal first-person shooter. Everybody has a jetpack, so every single person can fly, and that is an inherent ability of this entire game. The whole game revolves around you being able to fly, basically. You mix that with no friction. If you go down a hill with no friction, all of a sudden that's called skiing. You're skiing down slope, you're picking up speed. You find another hill, you jetpack up that one until you find another slope, and you do this to pick up enough speed to traverse the map. You got fairly large maps, and it creates for some really interesting, almost dogfights, really, with projectiles. You have some hit scan weapons, meaning that, kind of like Call of Duty or any modern shooter currently, where you point and click, and if your cursor's on them, it hurts them type deal. Whereas this, it actually takes time for those bullets to travel, kind of like I believe Battlefield did it to some extent, especially with the snipers in Battlefield. I don't know if their assault rifles did, but they're like slow-moving, almost missiles, actual projectiles. This game takes a lot of cues from Team Fortress 2 as well. It's all class-based. You have, flag runners, you have, flag defenders, you have people who infiltrate the enemy base, and all these different classes play all these different roles, and it makes for a really dynamic strategy among the teams versus each other. It makes it really interesting. The main mode that this game is known for is capture the flag, and it's not your standard take their flag, they take your flag type deal. With this fast-paced skiing all over the place and the defense of your actual base, not just a location but an actual base, it creates for some really dynamic gameplay, and it's a lot of fun. So you got your Pathfinder, who wants to gain some speed, grab the flag, take off with it, and get it back to your base. You got people like the Doombringer, who will, heavy on flag is the term, and I'll cover this more in future videos, trust me. But his goal is to sit on top of your flag and make sure that the enemy can't take it. You got engineers, who create turrets for defense and have a tool that can repair faster than somebody else would have to go to a specific location, grab a repair tool and use that. He can use his off the start and repair quicker, etc., etc. You have things like your generator, which allow you to keep your turrets for your base active, as well as radar so you can see incoming enemies. So you have a constant battle between attacking their generator and defending your generator, and keeping your turrets up and keeping their turrets down, etc. All the while you have this fast-paced, high-action, fast-moving conflict constantly happening. It's really fun. It is. Oh my goodness! It's such a breath of fresh air. It's so nice. So you kind of understand the game now and how it works. You got to understand how addicting this thing is, though. Playing Call of Duty, it almost becomes a chore. At least for me, I can't speak for everybody else, but it felt like a chore eventually to keep playing the game. And don't get me wrong, I'm not stopping playing, but I must say that I'm really enjoying this. When I was playing Call of Duty, it made a big difference to switch between the game modes to keep it fresh, whereas this is just, it's all brand new. I'm figuring out how all the weapons work, the best combinations, strategies, all these different things, and it's reinvigorating my enthusiasm for playing first-person shooters, which is amazing. It's a really, I can't say it enough, it's a fun and addicting game. It has a pretty high learning curve, though. One thing coming from these other shooters, you don't expect it. You definitely have to go through the tutorial. I played Counter-Strike Source, and within that they have a mod and maps designed for surfing, which is similar to skiing in the sense that you use slopes to pick up speed and traverse the map and complete obstacles and whatnot. But with surfing, it's kind of just something you could do. It wasn't actually a part of the game, whereas skiing is like infused into every little fabric of this, first-person shooter, which makes it really interesting. And if you don't understand how to ski, then it's going to be difficult. It's just that simple. It's not hard to understand. It just takes a little bit of time to at least get the fundamentals down. And then if you want to stand any chance of capturing a flag, you definitely got to have some decent routes. You got to know some of the tricks. And we'll definitely cover all these tips and tricks. This is just the first impressions, kind of let you understand the game a little bit better. So, you mix not knowing how to ski off the bat mixed with, all these different classes. It's a lot to take in all at once. You got, heavy artillery kind of being shelled in from a distance. You got people who are going stealth invisible inside your base. You run over to the enemy base and you run into, turrets and landmines and all kinds of, defensive things. And then, of course, you have the enemies who are like, hey, get out of my base. You're out in the middle of nowhere and you have somebody who goes zooming past you and lands a freaking grenade in your lap or something. It's a lot to take in all at once. All I can say is don't give up. The first time I played, I got so frustrated, I literally rage quit. I said, I'm done with this. This isn't worth my time. I gave up. And I kind of cleared my head, gave myself a second, came back a few hours later and tried it again, and everything just started to click. I tried out the Raider of all of them, and he had a submachine gun, and I was like, I could do damage with this. Okay. And I started playing with him, and I got used to it, and then I was like, well, I'll give the Pathfinder another chance, and you just get acclimated. It takes a second for your shots to get on. You got to get used to leading targets, and then you also got to just pay attention to all the different things. You got to, say, well, this guy killed me with this. Well, what does it do? How can I avoid it in the future? Oh, okay, so it turns out he's just literally raining fire down on my flag. So I should either go after him so that he can't do that to me and my team, or I should move away from my flag so he doesn't kill me. But you get the idea here. So just give it, some time so that you can get used to playing the game, and then I guarantee you'll have a lot of fun with it. And like I said, you got nothing to lose. It's 100% free, which is an amazing concept. I've played League of Legends. I still play League of Legends. It's not exactly for our channel, but the concept I really, really enjoy. Because I can bring my friends in and we can all have a great time. And then if I choose to, if I want something, if I want a little boost, if I want to try out, something else, I have the option to. I don't have to. I don't feel like I need to. There are some things that are more fun than others, but the core of the classes are there by default. And as you unlock them, you find that you don't necessarily need the other, weapons or items to play the class the way it's meant to be played for the role that you're trying to play it as, which is really nice. If we're talking competitive, that's a whole different story. There's some things that are obviously going to be better than others. It's impossible to have, fair game across everything, especially in a class-based shooter. But all things considered, I don't feel like anything's horribly overpowered. I haven't found any bugs or glitches. The game is really polished. The only thing I guess I could say is there's a few minor details, like not being able to see the health points of the person who killed you, who kills you, sorry, or a final kill cam. You can see the person who killed you, but not an actual kill cam, which I've become accustomed to. I love it. I want to see how they did what they did. And sometimes it's hard to believe I've died by a Spinfusor. When I'm in midair with half health, it's like, well, how is that even possible? But it says that's what happened, type deal. That's just, that's a little detail. That's minuscule compared to everything. I don't even know why I brought it up. But and then the other thing is maps. There are a handful of decent maps. There's one that I don't really care for, and then I wish there was just a little bit more variety. But if you go back to the changelog, I didn't pay attention to this game much throughout beta, but they've been, from what I can tell, very, very, very good about updating relevant things, not meaningless. Oh, here's a setting that you don't care about. More like actual tweaking and fixing. Anyway, I'm getting off topic here. Basically, this game is fun, it's free, you're going to have to check it out, and I hope that you enjoy seeing more videos from us in the future regarding Tribes Ascend. So it goes without saying, if you like this kind of stuff, if you are happy to see tribes, if you want more of it, like, subscribe, etc. We have more content that comes out regularly, and I'll see you in the next video, guys.